Hello Year 1, it's lovely to see you. I hope you're doing really well. This half term we are learning about God in Islam. And the followers of Islam are called Muslims, and when they're practicing their religion they use a language called Arabic. And when they use that language, do you remember what it is that they call God? That's right, they call God Allah. So today we're going to ask this question: what can we learn from Islamic art about Allah? Really important thing to remember straight off is that Muslims never draw or paint pictures of Allah, and actually the same goes for almost everyone, every sort of figure in their religion. So they don't draw pictures of the Prophet Muhammad either, or Adam and Eve, or other characters and figures that they find in their religion. And the reason for this is because they think that Allah and those people are too special and too precious and too important to be able to draw. They can't really imagine a painting or drawing that would ever be good enough to show those figures in their true reality. And also, like, trying to draw Allah seems like a really difficult job given everything we know that we learn that Muslims believe about Allah. So we can't really see Allah. We can kind of like, Muslims believe that you can feel the effects of Allah. Muslims believe that Allah exists but isn't like a real thing that you can touch and take photos of and paint. So it's really interesting to think that even if you wanted to, you would really struggle to paint Allah. So Muslims have an amazing artistic world. They have incredibly beautiful paintings and buildings and all sorts of different things. But how do they teach us about Allah if it's not just a painting or a picture of Allah? Well, let's take a look. Okay, wow, look at this. This is amazing. So this is in a mosque, and a mosque is where Muslims go to worship. And what we're actually looking at here is hundreds of mosaic tiles. So tiles are like this, and they go together and they make these incredible patterns. So someone has painted these beautiful tiles and put them all together. But they haven't just done it like you would in a bathroom. It's not random tiles. There are all these patterns here that we can look at. Now, the first thing that I notice when I look at this is the colour. What kind of colours are we seeing here? We see blue and yellow and white and gold. Beautiful, rich, lovely colours. So that tells us this is an important place. Blue and gold are very rich, very important colours in the artistic world. And I can also see some writing as well. I wonder if you can see some writing. It doesn't look like the writing we do in class. Yeah, all around here, all around the rim here and across here. This is writing in Arabic. So instead of showing pictures of God, what you'll often see in Islamic architecture is writing about Allah. You'll see writing from the Quran, which is the Islamic holy book, and that is what we're looking at here. But these patterns, really beautiful, wonderful patterns. So what I'm going to say is, if you want to, a nice thing to do with this video might be to pause it to have a go at drawing some of those patterns yourself. Now, I would really struggle because they're so difficult, but you can start to just follow some of the patterns on a bit of paper with a felt tip or something like that. That might be really interesting. Okay, let's have a look at another picture. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is the same mosque, but a different part. And again, you can see, wow, patterns, repeating patterns. And so they go from one side to another, and they go like a zigzag up and down, but they all go up to the center as well. And what colors can we see here? Yeah, like blues and golds again, and turquoise and aqua, all these lovely colors. And right at the center in the middle here, can you see that? Right in the middle at the center, there's a circle, and everything seems to be coming out from that circle. And circles are really important in Islamic art because it's a little bit like Allah, because it's like Allah is at the center and everything comes out from Allah. That's what Muslims think about when they look up at the ceiling in the mosque and they see this incredible mosaic, all of this art. They see the flowers and they see the symbols and the patterns and the Arabic writing. But at the very center of everything, at the top here, is that circle with those repeating patterns coming out. So we'll see circles are super important when you're looking at Islamic art. But I think that's just really beautiful and interesting to look at. Ah, okay. Well, this is a close-up of one of those tiles. And what we can see here is a pattern that repeats itself. So if you were to get these tiles and stack them all next to each other, they would all make one huge pattern. And at the centre again, can you see that? There's a circle. So there's something at the centre, and there's lots of things coming out from it, all these different patterns, all going in different directions. And you have to think, well, yeah, okay, it's art and it's beautiful, but wow, it must have taken a lot of maths to work out this pattern. And that's something really important in Islamic art, that it's very mathematical. It needs a lot of rulers and drawing and measurements to be able to get it right. So you can see they've got pentagons, 5-sided pentagons, and triangles and circles and all sorts of different shapes going on there. I wonder how many shapes you can spot if you take a look at this. Wow, so many shapes. I can see diamonds and kites, and I can see circles, and I can see squares, and I can see triangles. Oh, amazing. But it's all centered on one piece, and that is kind of like representing Allah and God. Okay, and here we go. So this is the Arabic writing again. Remember that we looked at? And this is called calligraphy. And that's where you really take your time to do the writing. You really make it beautiful. You make sure that each character is absolutely perfect. A bit like when you do your handwriting in class, you take your time to make it look absolutely beautiful and perfect. And they do the same. And this would be a section of the Quran, the Holy Book, that they have taken their time to write out, and they'll use that instead of a picture of Allah, instead of a picture of the Prophet Muhammad, to show that this is a holy, a special religious place. And there we go. There's something that combines everything that we've looked at. So what is the big shape there? That's right, it's a circle. And what's the white in the middle of the circle? Something that begins with a C. Calligraphy that we just looked at, and then in the center of the circle is that repeating pattern again. But look, it is so mathematical. I can see all these different shapes. I can see stars, and I can see crosses, and I can see triangles and diamonds, and then at the very center of that again is a circle. And so that's what we've learned about Allah from religious art. Repeating patterns show that Allah goes on forever and ever. If a pattern can repeat forever, that matches the Muslim belief that their God, that Allah, goes on forever and ever. Circles show that Allah is at the center of everything for Muslims. So a circle has a center point and everything spreads out from the center, and that's what Muslims believe about Allah. And then calligraphy uses the name of Allah and verses from the Quran to show their religious faith. So do have a go at drawing some of the patterns that you've seen. If you want to go back through and pause the video, I would have a go at just tracing some of those shapes, having a go at trying to recreate it with a felt tip or something like that. And I'd love to see what you come up with. I hope you found today interesting, and I'll speak to you next lesson, and have a lovely weekend. See you later. Bye-bye.